Ferrari's drivers experienced a roller coaster of emotions during the Imola Grand Prix, and their radio exchanges made that clear. Though they ended with respectable finishes in P4 and P6, Charles Leclerc was notably frustrated with some of the team's race decisions, particularly giving up a position to Albon. This raises the question, can Ferrari enhance communication and strategy execution within the team? More pressing is whether Leclerc's dissatisfaction with the tyre strategy, which failed him in the final stint, is justified. Ferrari's weekend in Imola was certainly filled with ups and downs. After both drivers were unexpectedly knocked out in Q2 for the first time ever at this circuit, the race started on a surprisingly positive note. Leclerc executed a flawless first stint strategy, overtaking Russell and positioning himself as a strong contender for a podium finish. However, the advent of the virtual safety car and the regular safety car disrupted his plans, much to his dismay. Such interventions are beyond a driver's control during the race, but the second stint brought further frustration for Leclerc when informed that Hamilton ahead wouldn't pit and there were no fresh tyres available for him. After about 12 laps of intense racing, Leclerc considered switching to soft tyres. However, his race engineer let him know that Hamilton wasn't planning to pit. Leclerc was unfazed, insisting that their focus should be on their strategy. Ferrari, eager for a clear decision, pushed for Leclerc's confirmation on the tyre change, and he decisively agreed. Just as he was set to pit, he realised his teammate had already entered the pit ahead of him. This meant staying out would be wiser to avoid losing time by sitting idle behind Hamilton. The unexpected twist left the Monaco driver frustrated and perplexed by the race's late developments. He exclaimed, puzzled about how he hadn't pitted because Hamilton did, refusing to waste time waiting and risk losing even more positions. Leclerc found himself in a tight spot, which might have been avoidable with better team coordination as he defended his position against Albon. Albon, on fresher tyres, was pushing hard for a spot on the podium and believed he could overtake Piastri with his pace. In these intense battles, Leclerc nudged Albon slightly to the right at Villeneuve corner, causing both to lose positions to Hamilton. As the race neared its end, Leclerc received orders to let Albon pass since he was under investigation and faced a potential 5 or 10-second penalty that could knock him out of the points. Frustrated, Charles remarked that racing has become a joke, where drivers must surrender positions instead of overtaking. Though many criticise Ferrari's choices, it's crucial to realise the stakes were high and a guilty verdict could cost them valuable points. Currently, they trail Red Bull by 17 points in the Constructors' Championship, with Red Bull appearing to rely on just one strong driver, a vulnerability Maranello could exploit as the season progresses. Meanwhile, Hamilton expressed satisfaction with his team's strategy, praising their tactics, especially after benefiting from the Leclerc-Albon tangle by being perfectly positioned. After the race, when chatting with his engineer, he seemed to have a completely different reaction compared to Charles. He enthusiastically praised the team, saying, "What an amazing race, everyone. Fantastic pit stops and strategy. The car was perfect today. I'm so thankful and proud. This one was for the Tifosi. Let's keep improving our qualifying and we can continue racing like this, eventually leading us to victory." Adami complimented his impressive overtakes, to which Hamilton responded, "I really went for it, my friend." It appears that there's a bit of tension between the drivers, with Charles not thrilled about Hamilton's growing confidence in the car. Both drivers faced challenges in qualifying, as neither made it past Q2 for the second time in a row following Miami. Despite this, their race performance has notably improved, and Ferrari has realised they struggle with speed on fresh tyres, which is affecting their qualifying. If they can't resolve this in Monaco, their race could be jeopardised on the tight circuit. But the discussion didn't end there. Leclerc is firm in his belief that changes need to happen quickly, especially after his recent misfortunes involving the virtual safety car and the safety car. He likely avoided a bigger problem by not switching to soft tyres with about 12 laps remaining, though hindsight doesn't offer clear answers. What is clear to him is that both race strategy and car performance require significant improvements if his team wants to be truly competitive. Reflecting on the day's challenges, Leclerc noted that sometimes things just don't go your way, as was the case this time. The timing of the VSC and SC was unfavourable, as he couldn't capitalise on the first and lacked suitable tyres for the second. Despite these setbacks, he has no regrets. Finishing in 6th place isn't terrible considering the tough weekend they've had. However, it's far from the result they are aiming to achieve. We need to concentrate on boosting our performance during the qualifying sessions, since our car already shows great speed during the races. However, if you ask Lewis Hamilton, he's thrilled with how the car is handling. It's the first time he's felt such trust in the SF25, a confidence he's been looking for since he excelled at the China Grand Prix sprint race by securing pole position and a win. Although this season with the Maranello team hasn't been the best overall for him, it's clear that Hamilton's journey in the sport is far from over. Reflecting on the challenges faced after the Imola event, Hamilton noted the immense pressure on the team, especially with the struggles in qualifying. Experiencing a race where he made significant progress and moved up positions felt incredibly rewarding. It's been a while since he had such an exhilarating race. He vaguely recalls a similar experience last year, but this one felt unique, particularly because it was his first time achieving this while driving in the iconic red car. Feeling the car come alive today was truly exhilarating as everything clicked into place. With the Monaco Grand Prix on the horizon, it's fascinating to think about how the drivers will tackle the upcoming challenges, especially with the mandatory two-stop strategy rule in play. In 2025, the team has truly excelled at executing pit stops, even setting a record with a lightning-fast 2.0-second stop in Bahrain. While there's plenty to anticipate, Leclerc doesn't seem overly confident about Ferrari clinching another win after last year's triumph in the Principality. As he gears up to race through his hometown streets once more, he remarked that Monaco is going to be a tough test. The track is unique and really highlights any weaknesses the car may have, which means we have to approach it differently than any other circuit. Our aim is to leverage this and achieve the best result possible. With all this happening, one might wonder if Ferrari's radio communications are starting to show strain when the drivers are working with differing strategies. Will the ongoing divergence in strategies persist starting with the Monaco event? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.